Nerds International proudly presents
podcast recording to the podcast to the recording to the podcast the tabletop twats. What? It's on your intro.
The musical.
Coming at you live from a rad roach's rectum, it's me, Nick Lambslice.
Me, James Pumpkin.
And me, Alexis Hunt, aka Flying Slime.
And collectively, we are the Tabletop Twats!
Oh man, have we got a show for you today? Because
High
of course, usually this is a show all about pH balance in soil, but today we're talking about RPGs, tabletop RPGs specifically. And we've got the feedback side, we got what you've been slaying, we got the main subject, which this time is going to be family games, you know, games you can play with your family when you've got you know, kids around and things like this.
Oh yes.
Obviously last time when we did the family games episode, we notoriously tricked you guys and it was all about a sex book. This time we're not going to do that, we're actually going to talk about family games. And then we've got the Chamber of Challenges, Fireside Tales and the Electro Letters. So it's going to be a pretty packed episode.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, people will notice that this episode should have been a Foreign Beggars episode, but sadly, we couldn't do that this time. That is going to be the very next episode. The reason being is because my wife was a little bit ill, and I'm actually a carer, so I couldn't do it. I didn't have time to get the episode ready. I don't know why I'm talking in this accent.
So we've done a little switcheroo.
Yeah, so unfortunately we had to just get this one ready instead because I didn't have time to do a Foreign Beggars one because those take too long. Yeah. Anyway, with that boring stuff out the way, you guys might have noticed that I've changed my name. That's basically all I'm going to say on the matter. I've changed my name. So let's get on with the episode. Feedback side. Yeah. The feedback side. The feedback side. The feedback side. The feedback side. Yeah. The feedback section. The feedback section. Alright, so we only got one bit of feedback in, and it comes from Terry Hansen, who talked about the last episode where we did a episode all about dice. And he says, fantastic episode, gentlemen. Who knew chatting about dice could be so entertaining? You did.
I knew it would be really entertaining.
Oh, okay.
Of course you did.
I especially appreciated the brief history of polyhedral dice, amazing song fight, and I won.
How did he write it like that?
He actually did. So we did a competition to send in sexy goblin pictures, and he won a copy of Saga of the Goblin Horde, which is on its way to him right now. And he says, even if it was by default, yeah, because he's the only one that actually followed the competition. He said, I don't care. I have an awesome book. My kids and I are all quite excited by this win. Thanks again, guys. I really hope his kids didn't see the picture he drew.
I think they did.
Oh, God.
I think actually they drew it.
Mm.
Oh.
And he's just pretending he did.
If that's the case, you better bring that book back.
Yeah, because
actually, send that book back.
You know, the weird thing is, my PayPal account this morning, this isn't even a joke, had a payment of a £5 from Terry, and I don't know why. And so I'm thinking that maybe that was a bit of shut me up money.
Oh, right, it's a brown envelope.
Like, don't tell the Child Protection Services that I've been drawing goblin cocks with my kids.
I don't think £5 really
that's a violation of section 5.3.
Yeah. It's going to need a little bit more than a £5, Terry.
Oh dear. Yeah, you want to shut us up.
Right, well that's it for feedback this time. So we're going to move on to what you've been slaying, where that's basically where we sort of talk about what we've been playing. It's actually a really clever
really
pun.
Smart.
It's really good.
Oi! Yeah? What you slaying?
So first of all, we played a bit of ICRPG. Now this was just a two-part mini. You can't really call it a campaign, can you? But it's a two-shot.
It was a two-shot.
And the whole thing revolved around you guys. You got this mission. You were bounty hunters, and you got this mission to go and get this amazing ramen that only existed on this tiny planetoid somewhere in the galaxy, and bring it back to this very rich hotelier. And he wanted to sell the ramen in his shop, in his hotel. Now, the real reason that he wanted to send you to this tiny planet is because it was protected by an asteroid belt that basically wipes out any ships that try to get through. Mm-hmm. And by doing so, it meant that he got rid of some bounty hunters. He had a thing, he hated bounty hunters and didn't want them in his hotel.
Yeah, because they became illegal some time back as well. He had a thing against them.
Yeah, he didn't want them in his hotel, and it was bad for his rep and all of this stuff. So essentially, that was it. But you guys actually managed to get through the asteroid belt, get the ramen, and get out of the asteroid belt, and then you thought, well, we've got the last ramen in the entire galaxy, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and clone it. So you went back to this to Solaria, which was like one of your team's like home planet, where he was a wanted man.
The most wanted person.
Yeah, exactly. And
in the history of the planet, yeah.
Yeah, then you stole the Emperor's ship, became even more wanted, flew away from there.
Put his outfit on, put his crown on, don't forget.
Yeah, put his crown on. It was amazing. And then went back to a different planet where you went to the most advanced technology sort of like university in the galaxy, and cloned it there. And that was like a very, very quick summary of the game, but like it was pretty awesome, because at the end, one of the most amazing things you did was that you cloned the ramen over and over again so that you could have, you know, the best tasting dish in the galaxy and sell it and become millionaires and all of this. But one of the coolest things that you did was that you also cloned your dead friend's head 1,000 times.
That was me. I died.
Yeah, and then you poured it into the office of the guy that tried to fuck you over. So the very last thing you did was that he sort of saw this gigantic ship that used to belong to an emperor of an entire planet come up behind his office window, and he's like, what the fuck is that? And then he sees you guys at the helm, and then the mouth of the ship opens and it pours in 1,000 heads, and he's like, no!
And they were eating bowls of ramen at the time, and he's like, what? You found it?
Yeah, exactly.
And then had all the heads.
He gets heads.
Yeah, so, I mean, ICRPG, the way it works is that it's a very, very simple system where everything is always supposed to be turn-based, and it's a D20 system. There's no skills, it's only attributes, and you just add your modifiers to everything, and there's each scene that you're in always has one difficulty, so there's no changing DCs all the time. It's just one difficulty. So you're in one scene, let's say the difficulty's 8, you always need to hit an 8.
Yeah, for everything you do there.
For everything you do, and that you can get pluses and minuses, but it's always an 8 that you need to hit.
Yeah.
And all weapons always do D6 damage, and again you can get gear and stuff that modifies that, but that's basically, it's very, very simple.
I loved it. First impressions, cracking little game.
And
Very,
it
very
works amazingly in
With
the
anything.
GURPS universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really did enjoy it. I found it very, very simple. One of the, it's not necessarily criticism, but Nick, just open your bloody drink.
Thank you.
But one of the things I really liked about it was that it was very fast and quick to play, but I don't think it had the depth for long-term campaign play. But it certainly had the depth, enough depth to play a short game, like an up to 10. Maybe like a 10-session game.
Yeah, and it was so nostalgic to go back to our really, really rich GURPS universe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was really, really cool.
Because that was a sandbox universe that I made years and years and years ago, and we went back to play there, and we did a sandbox game. It was basically you guys do whatever the fuck you want.
It was awesome.
So nice to see the old map and that.
Yeah, and the highlight of the game for me was space combat, and the reason being is because ICRPG does a fantastic job of making vehicle combat easy. The way it works is you have chunks, because every single thing in the game, its HP is measured in hearts, and each heart represents 10 HP. Simple. So when you want to do a vehicle, each part of the vehicle has
X amount of hearts or half hearts.
Precisely. So then if you want to make a vehicle, well, the bigger it is, it has more chunks, and each chunk has one heart.
Yeah.
Or half heart, whatever. And so when creating all these spaceships, it was so easy. Okay, do a big spaceship, it has a thruster that's one heart, a cockpit that's one heart, 2 guns that each one has one heart, and then you just draw it out on a big bit of paper, and then you mark down what each part does. Now, the way that it works is that, let's say, for instance, you destroy the thruster by doing 10 hearts or 10 HP of damage on the heart. Well, it's pretty obvious what then happens to the ship. Mechanically, it's so fucking easy to do vehicle combat, and that, to me, is the highlight. Easiest vehicle in space combat. You could do a mech game in it so fucking easily. And, I really enjoyed it. But what did you guys... well, Nick, you've said what you think, but James, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely loved it. I think, the pacing was great. and how we played it, and the uses of hearts. It was so easy as well, because when they're drawn down on the map, you can visibly see it already. Like you can see, there's a ship in front of us, and we can see the different segments and see the amount of hearts that each has. And you could just go for the weak point, and we did for one of them, and we went for the the main sort of energy source for it. So as soon as that's out, then the ship can't do anything else. So it allowed us a bit of freedom in that, instead of just trying to hit it and then get the entire unit down to zero. It was you could pinpoint certain areas to naff it up for the other people against us, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it made you feel a bit like you were doing proper space combat as well, because you were like, attack the thrusters, and then you had all of these like different maneuvers you could do, like that I won't go into what each one does, but all of the fighters and the ships and things like this had different maneuvers, like punch it, lock on, engage, things like this. So when you were like, right, what do you want to do? If you're piloting the ship, you'd be like, right, I'm going to engage, or I'm going to lock on, or whatever. Yeah. And things like that made it feel really cool. My one criticism is that at low levels, because the way you level up is via gear, at low levels, you will never usually kill something in one hit. And I know that sounds stupid. I'll like, I'm a baby, I love killing things in one hit. But in things like AD&D, DCC, Savage Worlds, that is often possible. And that should be possible, because if you've got a sword, you can stab something in the throat and kill it in one hit. Of course you can, yeah. And in ICRPG, that's hard unless two people concentrate on the same thing, because a lot of weapons deal 1d6 damage. Unless you take like the weapons kit, which gives you a +2, and then you pour a couple of points into your weapon effort and things like this, and then you also get a high roll. It's kind of impossible to kill things with efficiency. Gotcha. And so that was one of my criticisms. Unless I'm doing something wrong, because I've only played it a couple of times. There are a few ways to kill
totally
things.
Wipe something out in one go,
but then you have to level up a little bit before you can do that, happen, and that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Not all games are like made to be completely brutal from the offset.
Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah.
But that's just how I like it, I guess. But yeah, ICRPG, check it out, everyone.
Definitely. It's a new version now. Is that out?
Yeah. That's what we played.
Oh right, that was version 2.
Yeah, version 2, mate. It's sick, and the book is amazing. So
it's really refined as well.
But enough about that, because we've been playing the big guns this week.
Oh my god!
After we started playing ICRPG, we played that mainly to give Sean a little buffer to get his Fallout campaign ready, because obviously we just wrapped up our Solomon Kane campaign. And Sean, my brother, he's been preparing a Fallout campaign for 8 months?
That's fucking forever.
Right, and then the ICRPG game wraps up, and we're like, all right, Sean, you got your game ready for next week?
No, it's a break next week, isn't it? I'm sure we.
I thought you
said we were off.
I thought we were having a 2-week break.
Yeah,
and he's
nah.
He starts pulling his collar, doing all these faces. He's like, oh.
It's just like no. The 2-week break was ICRPG.
Yeah.
It was to give us a break from Savage Worlds, because
then the penny drops his little face.
Yeah, and he looked so scared.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know if I have it ready. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, you've been. This has been going on. He's been collecting bottle caps to use as bennies for the past 6 months.
He's been, every time I see him, right, he's been like, oh yeah, I'm like, what have you been up to? He's like, I've been down the library drawing maps, and he's been like, I've been collecting maps, I've been on the internet doing research, and I'm like, how do you not have this ready?
Do you reckon when he went home he sat on like a sea of bottle caps, but just had a blank paper and was like, shit, better do something
He opens his room and then they all fall out.
It's not all bottle caps, you know.
Yeah, it's more to it a bottle, but yeah, it turns out he did have it ready.
He was fibbing us, wasn't he?
Yeah, he smashed it, and we've been playing. Well, we played our first session of Savage Fallout, so it was session 0.
Yeah,
and so it was like a bit of character creation, and then we got to play 2 hours of the actual game.
Yeah, and, I tell you what, session 0 is awesome. I think it really helps in some cases, and I think we really enjoyed session 0 quite a lot.
Yeah, well, for those people that don't know what a session 0 is, it's just getting together, creating characters, and then making linked backstories. It doesn't work for every game for those that have like ridiculously long character creations. Like, it wouldn't work for Fatal, for example. But like, yeah.
If you want to gear up for a long campaign and want like a nice bit of kind of synergy to start with your group, it helps out.
Really works, yeah. So to sort of describe our characters, we'll start with, I think we'll save Nick's for last. But James, so you first.
My name's Gilead Crawford, and and basically I am playing a ghoul, but a vault ghoul. So a ghoul that was basically became a ghoul in the vault due to exposure from the outside world. It was previously sort of kind of like an IT computer guy, and sort of like doing that, and now he's like really, really bitter with life because he has experiments done on him, because obviously he's a living ghoul that they can do experiments on, as opposed to getting one from the outside.
Yeah,
and,
because obviously the vault's never open, so they never having one down there and being able to experiment on him is like a very rare thing.
So I sort of like hate life at the minute. How it happened was I was performing maintenance on the door, and then I got exposed to something went wrong, and then that happened to me.
Yeah, wasn't it like a tiny pinprick of a hole sort of opened up
sprayed
and
you in the face?
Yeah, blasted you.
Blasted me in the face at a really bad time.
And now you're a non-conformist.
And now I'm a ghoul. It's quite interesting though, because obviously during character creation, you can get, with the edges and stuff. If you get 2 hindrances, you can take a free edge, but it's only for human characters. So I was just I say lumbered, but I think it works really well, and I'm happy with what I got. But basically, as I'm a ghoul, I just had a list of hindrances and edges that I had to have, and that pretty much is it.
You can still take 2 hindrances and get a free edge, but you don't get.
Oh yeah, but I start with 4 hindrances already.
Yeah, so you were like, I don't want to have 6 hindrances right out the gate.
Just for one other edge, like I was just like, I'll leave it.
Because you got like outsider, ugly, decrepit. It was like, fuck, man. Do I really want to take like another, like maybe one arm or like something like this? It was like, I mean, it was really funny because we were looking. You look at like the bit where it lists the hindrances for ghoul, and it's like almost the whole page. It's like ridiculous.
I actually misread part of it because I was just like, yeah, I've got that one, and then Lexi was like, yeah, you need this, and this. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I flipped back to the page. I was like, oh shit, there's like 3 other paragraphs underneath this that I didn't read, and I was like,
you do get fast healer as well, because
there's some perks, man.
Yeah. So it looks like to be a really interesting type of character to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm playing Dana Valentine, and she is the vault detective. So essentially what happened is that her parents used to run a detective agency down in the vault. They died under mysterious circumstances, essentially due to radiation poisoning. Now all of the food down there is kept under wraps and has no radiation whatsoever, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. But they died mysteriously one day, and they used to use violent means to get information out of people down there. So she took over the vault detective agency after they died, and she reports any misdemeanors to the overseer.
But literally any.
So it's like
she's super grass.
Oh yeah. If you steal a chocolate bar, if you've got a contraband weapon that you've made, or anything like this.
If you drop a bit of litter and don't pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
She's on
You're
you.
on the
Dana
list.
is on you.
She's proper Hermione Granger times a million.
Yeah.
She's like, so yeah, it's
and
really funny.
It's always open. It's brilliant.
But like me and Gilead, James's character, we're best buds because we're both
outcasts.
We're outcasts. But then Sid, Peter's character, who's the vault's mechanic as well, he doesn't really have any friends because he's devoted so much to mechanic bullshit and
he always does like
that.
unsociable hours.
Yeah, so he's our mate as well. So we're like the in-betweeners. We don't have any mates really. So we always hang out in the lunchroom together. Ryan's character always bullies us.
Yeah.
And
he's extorting you lot.
He's a tunnel snake, right?
A low level. He's very low level, the lowest level.
Yeah, he's the lowest level tunnel snake, and he's like the bully, right? And he extorts money from us, and because we're like the outsiders, he'll basically come along and take protection money and like picks on us in the lunchroom. And then because we're like outsiders and we get bullied a lot, we need to go to somebody to tell our feelings to, and that is
Dr. Feelings,
which is Nick's character.
My character, yeah. So I'm playing originally a Mr. Handy, so Fallout fans will know the basic run-of-the-mill robot.
Yeah, it's like a floating robot that usually has a singular job.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have been given 2.
I've been given a new job, yeah. So when the psychiatrist of the vault died, sadly, there was no one to take his place. So they reprogrammed a chef, Mr. Handy, into a makeshift rudimentary psychiatrist. And yes, that's my new job. So I've been in like, my data files have been updated slightly with some, human understanding and things like that. And yeah, I'm just there to kind of keep the tension in the vault low, and if anyone needs to unload any feelings.
But basically, pretty much all of our characters confide
in me,
in
yeah.
Dr. Feelings.
Yeah, so he knows like secrets about us.
Everybody,
and it's so awesome. But there was a bit where, like, because he's got a circular saw that he uses to cut food and stuff like this, and we got attacked by rad roaches, and he's like, now entering combat mode.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And like he when we're like in stressful situations, he's like, it looks like you need to unload feelings.
Please express them.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's fun.
Should I book it in the diary?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's like, shh.
And there was a bit where Ryan's character Snide, who's the tunnel snake, was like being a complete prick to me, and like him and I don't get along because I'm the ultimate grass and he's the ultimate naughty boy.
Yeah.
And so him and I don't get along. Like we're all about 16, 17.
Yeah, this is the brilliant part of it.
Yeah, and him and I don't get along at all. And then I go out to Dr. Feelings, and I was like, you're going to need to do a psychic evaluation on him immediately. And you're like, I think he seems lonely. And I'm like, lonely? Him? Nah,
Senses
no way.
are picking up embarrassment.
One of the funniest things as well is that we've seen loads of old American movies, but we only have a TV that doesn't have any sound.
Oh, yeah.
So we read all the titles wrong and stuff like this. But Ryan's character Snide, his favourite movie, being a tunnel snake with the grease back hair and the leather jacket, his favourite movie is Grease, but he pronounces it Grisay. And also, he recites all the songs as if they're poems. And we were outside, and when we
They've only read the subtitles. They've
Yeah.
never heard the sounds. He doesn't know what the music
and
sounds
he's
like.
you're the one that I want. Oh, oh, oh.
Go, Grease Lightning.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's it.
You're burning up. It's no good. Yeah.
Man, what a game! It was so good. It had so much comedy. It had intrigue because the overseer's left the vault in a hurry. We see all his papers. Like he's obviously jammed them into a suitcase. We're investigating it.
Yeah.
We ran out. Then
Mad roach attack. All the vault. Everybody else is dead or missing.
it was a great introduction because it just got the game going.
Yeah.
And now we're on to session 1.
It really got going just as we left it as well.
But then, just as we left, we reprogrammed Dr. Feelings as well because he was like, I cannot leave the vault. And then we're like, James, your character Gil, went up to him and reprogrammed him using his science ability, which is a new ability in Savage Fallout. Reprogrammed him and was like, beep, boop, 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 boop.
Overseer is in violation.
Yeah, because he's left the vault, so we're trying to track him down to fuck him up for leaving us behind.
And my primary function now is to protect my vault dwellers because they're the only tether left to any of my original programming. So so it's like a metal bodyguard. I love it.
So that's it. Cool. That's sort of where we're at. We're trying to track down our overseer that's left us behind to sort of get him, and that's it. That's all we know so far. And we've got a great group of characters because it's like they're in between is our psychiatrist and the bully that's been bullying us. Well, what Ryan's explanation for that was that he secretly wants to be our mate but has no way of expressing it because he's been a bully his whole life.
Exactly. And my favourite bit was when we first found out there had been an attack by the rad roaches. We come walking in and the actual head tunnel snake, it was his birthday that day, and his like lifeless corpse was on the floor, and then Ryan come over and just automatically put his jacket on, which was a little bit more cool. There had a bit of stud work on the shoulder. I think there was a bandana wrapped around the arm because he was the leader. Automatically became the de facto leader, and then just coerced poor is it Sid into becoming a tunnel snake.
Yeah, and he put his jacket on Pete's character, and Pete doesn't really want to be a tunnel snake, but he's scared of Snide, so he keeps putting his jacket on him, and then as soon as we got out the vault, Snide goes, the tunnel snakes are going international, Sid.
We're going worldwide. Yeah. And he's like, you're my right hand man now, Sid. And he's like, oh, just cold. And he's like, you gotta put the jacket on. So yeah, it's
man, what a game.
It's
what
cracking.
a game.
Maybe we should go. That senior warned us about playing RPGs.
Why would you listen to him? He's a fucking idiot. Come on, let's play.
After all, what did he say would happen?
You want to answer that one, Debbie?
Mike said that once we start, we won't want to stop.
That's true of eating, drinking, and other things as well.
Yeah, but you didn't have to say it in that creepy way. Come on, I'm trying to get Debbie into RPGs. This isn't helping. Come on, alright, go away, Sheila. Come on.
Surely it can't be of any harm to...
Look, what did I just say? Come on, shut up. Go away. Go over there. Go over
I
there.
hope you are not disrespecting Mistress Frost.
You too, Mike? Why are you speaking like that? Come on. Stop taking this shit too seriously. Let's just play some fucking RPGs. Come on.
If they want to be a couple of chickens who go their entire lives without experiencing the unrivaled thrill of an RPG, that's their business.
I've been playing for like 13 years, you stupid bitch.
Then prove it by playing.
Go fuck yourself. I've been doing a bit of reading of Labyrinth Lord recently.
Hell yeah.
This is I bought this ages ago, but the thing about this is it's kind of a retro clone. This isn't necessarily an OSR game. I guess it could be classed as an OSR game, but it's a retro clone.
Okay.
So I'm really enjoying reading this because I played AD&D back in the day, but for the life of me, I can't bloody remember any of the rules because it's confusing as fuck. Now, one of the things I'm really enjoying about this is that you can really see, we spoke about Gary Gygax's sort of like wargaming background, and you can really see that in these rules. This is like a simulation of what it is to go through a dungeon.
Wow.
And I'm really enjoying it. Like there's loads of little things, like there's separate types, dice rolls and things like this for everything, but like in a way that sort of makes sense. Like it's not like one overriding rule for each thing, but like there's little different rules for little things.
Yeah.
And I do quite like it. I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not entirely sure that it will. I'm going to house rule quite a lot of things.
Got ya.
Yeah, but I think in certain circumstances, it will add to the immersion.
Yeah, I do have to agree.
If that's your bag, then that's, you know what I mean? If you're all about the immersion.
Yeah, if you can get deep enough into it and then you're told, all right, you've got to do this specifically for this because of this, you'll be like, all right, okay, that's cool, because I understand it makes sense.
Audience dependent, I suppose.
Well, there is one.
Who enjoys it.
There is one little thing that I quite. I'm like really unsure about, and I did say this on an interview that I was being interviewed on the Veiled Fury Manuel show recently, and I said that there was one thing is that the thief skills are rolled by the DM. Now the reason being is because you wouldn't always know if you succeeded or not.
Okay.
How this goes is that like, and they're percentage dice.
Right.
So it's like Cthulhu. You have a big load of skills in their percentage, right? But then usually you roll a d20 for stuff. But in this case, or a d6 in some cases. But the thief skills, they're a d100. The reason being is like, let's say for instance you search the room for traps, right? If you search the room for traps and use that skill and you want to disable all of them, you roll it and the DM will tell you, you seem pretty confident that you've searched the entire room for traps and you can carry on. Now you could take a step forward and go, bear trap, right? But it adds to immersion because although you seem confident and the DM's rolled for you, you have to be confident in that percentage.
Yeah.
Because that's your ability, but the realistic fact is that you can't be 100% confident because it's like you know that you've done the best of your ability. However,
it might not be right.
It might not be right because there might still be one hidden there that you didn't get
because it got the better of you. Yeah.
Whereas if you rolled and you know you went under it, the DM could tell you seem confident and you have to role play it.
Right.
But the reality is that you know that you failed.
Yeah, I got you.
So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Like, that's the simulation aspect of it, and it's kind of cool.
Interesting,
Like I do like the little things like that, but then not allowing players to roll their own skill. It's a bit like
you'll be like, what?
Thing is, right,
you just take the dice off him at the beginning of the game and the thief's like, hold on a minute, what's going on here?
Thing is, right, with us, look, I think we would easily be able to continue the roleplay aspect of it, and we do actually loads. It's just like, I got crit fail, great, I'm definitely 100% sure of this then.
We have done that for intelligence rolls before.
And it's just like, but right, cool, well I'm 100% certain it's this way, or I've got to do that, and then it's just like we roleplay it and it is a laugh. But I suppose if you
but I think that is quite an interesting aspect. There's loads of little things like that throughout the book, and there's other things. For example, with magic items, you always just describe what it looks like. You never say, and like you can never say like, oh, you pick up a magic item. So some magic items would never even look like it. So you might just pick up a stick and be like, oh, you picked up a stick. The players would never even think just to wave it about. And things like this. So it's like to me, but whereas like the later editions of D&D, even Pathfinder, even DCC, they're always fucking glowing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and in this,
humming.
it's just like, yeah.
I think that stick might be magical.
And like, yeah, it's because I've only ever played it a handful of times and never really got along with it. Like, I want to give it another chance.
It a bash.
And this is a great way of doing it because it's a much more, it's better ordered, it's more well worded in certain cases, and I'm really enjoying reading it.
We know, like, picking up that stick and not knowing if it's magical or not, basically not knowing if it's useful. That brings you just back to your typical RPG. If you're playing a video game version, you'll just gather stuff because eventually it may come in handy.
Yeah.
But what might be funny is that you might eventually go back to town and go, I don't need this, so do you want to buy a stick? And the guy at the shop buys it, and then suddenly you come back to town later and the shop's in flames and you're like, what the fuck?
You bastard!
Yeah, I don't know, I'm enjoying the fuck out of it.
Nice.
But, there's one last thing I wanted to speak about because I got a little something for the last Dice episode.
It came late.
Yeah. They came late, so I'm going to get these out now. So the last episode we did all about dice, and I thought I'm going to order something,
a bit risque.
Yeah, something funny, something that you can use in any of your fantasy games,
Family games.
and here they are.
Oh god.
So Nick, give me a little description here.
Okay, holding it in my hand, I have some dice that are etched with little images of two stick people getting it on. Let's put it that way. Getting it on real good in different positions.
So give it a roll and tell me what one you get.
Okay, so can you believe it? I got 269. So is that like double crit?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, that's the
four people though. It's the only problem.
You need to do.
There's only
need
three of
people.
us.
So I was trying to think of a practical use for this in game though. Because I mean, really, there's nothing, is there? But the amount of times, because we've got a player at our table, haven't we? That is constantly
Ryan,
and he probably in every campaign we've ever done, he's had sex with somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. There's a D12 there that's got D12 sexual positions on it, and I know these are supposed to be for you and your partner. However, I was thinking I might just bring this just when I DM, just for Ryan's sake.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
I like the dice. I like the fact that this dice has got like little dirty words all over it, but it's also got Pat, and like if Pat's there, he's laughing. Pat, you're up again, mate.
Well, I found it really funny
Right,
because
Pat.
I uploaded a picture of this to Google Plus, and the dice, they come in certain sets, right? And one of them was blow ass.
Blow ass.
Hey, mate, why don't you just blow my ass?
It's like a bottle.
Yeah. And there was one that was, it was like, I can't remember what it was, but it was bite ass as well. It's like, all of them just sound like arseholes. It's like kiss nipples.
Hey,
Like,
bite my ass.
kiss my nipple, you douchebag.
Why didn't you bite my ass?
Blow ass, you douchebag. So yeah, I don't know if they...
Bite my ear.
Bite my ear, dickhead.
I'm watching here.
Oh yeah, right there.
So yeah, there's sexual
Very
position
nice.
dice, and then there's ones that have like
Suck hand.
there's ones that have words on them as well. So
You got nip, lick, suck, bite, blow, pat.
there's one that just has a question mark on it, and I guess that's if you're having sex with like a sort of Cthulhu monster.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
Pat,
And
hey
but
Pat.
some of them are glow in the dark as well.
Oh god. For them, what? For them after hours.
Well, that's for when you
sessions.
really do get sucked into the ethereal plane.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. Why don't you blow my ass?
And obviously that is usually it
Very
for what we've been slaying. But obviously on this segment we usually talk about if we bought anything. And Nick, it is your birthday coming up, so here we go. Here's a little nifty gifty for you. This is RPG related, and so give it an open. Read the tag as well because
Dear Nick, you birthday. Thank you very much from Lex.
Yeah, you birthday.
You birthday. You birthday. Me birthday.
I put a lot of effort
And
into
it's a,
writing
it's a
that
very
tag.
it's a nice wrapping too. It's got lovely little strawberries on it.
I was not responsible for that wrapping. You know, the funny thing is that I went into my living room,
Yeah.
and I was wrapping it with a sheet of A4 paper to make sure that to show my wife that I was doing a terrible job, and she went, "Give it here, I'll do it."
Yeah, you know it. Oh, I'm so excited.
Bloody hell, that is enough wrapping.
Oh my
paper.
god. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's the mutant card deck.
So this is
Mutant Year
Mutant Year
Zero.
Zero
Amazing.
card deck.
Yes.
Yes.
I've got everything now. Got them all. Got every single card set.
Yes, bro.
So this is a threat and artifacts deck, and it's basically carded versions of items and threats and artifacts that you pick up and gear in the book, but it's really handy because if you've got a card and you pick something up, you can just hold it and it tells you exactly what it does. It's really nice.
So
Thank you very much.
Because you're running, you're going to be running Mechatron soon.
I'm just going to run a mutant game, so it's not going to be because obviously they all link in together. Don't they?
So you can flow through
so
each.
who knows who will be in there? So brilliant. That's amazing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
No worries, man.
Bless.
I know that. Because I know that you could use the artifacts for whichever one you run.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll cross over, and now I have every single card deck. So it's really nice. Thank you very much, mate.
No worries.
That.
And my one's in the post. So
Yay!
We'll reveal that next time.
Why didn't you blow my ass?
Okay.
All right. So let's move on to the main subject.
Woo! Main. Subject. Main. Subject. Sorry.
I know that last time we said that we were doing family games, games you could play with the whole family and the kids and everything, and we
May have tricked you slightly.
and turned it into a sex episode.
Sorry about that.
But this time we shan't be doing that. We're
No.
actually going to do an episode on family games.
Indeed.
If by family games you mean
Dirty sex games! We've done it again!
it's a ruse.
Get out, children! 18s only!
Blow my ass.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about Panty Explosion Perfect. And if you think I'm lying, that is a real game. Google it right now if you want. I'm sorry, we had to trick you because if we do an episode with a sexy name, you won't download it. I'm sorry, but you make a rod for your own back. We have to trick you, listeners.
Yeah.
So, Panty Explosion Perfect. Yeah, this is a game that cost me 25 bloody quid, and it's a very, very thin game actually, but we're going to get into this, right? So, Panty Explosion Perfect. Well,
cracking name.
It really is.
I remember when we were looking at when you suggested it, and then we were just like, yes.
Yeah.
Totally, man. I mean, it's our job, innit? We review the sex games so that you don't have to read them. Because then otherwise your wife's going to find it. She's like, what the hell is this?
What's this Google history all about? Whereas if we do that for you, all you've got to do is get delivered to your work address.
Now my wife's got to the point where she sees me looking at this, and I was looking at it on eBay, and I was like, look, I'm getting this one next for the podcast, and she just rolls her eyes and walks out the room. Anyway, this game is actually not what you think at all. Let me read the back. Welcome to Atarashi High School, where schoolgirls with deadly psychic powers do battle against bloodthirsty ghosts. Demon princes stalk the high school halls, and the only thing worse than losing your soul is letting your grades slip. So
that doesn't sound like Panty Explosion Perfect.
It doesn't. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So does underwear actually detonate in this game? Well, let's dive in and find out. This RPG starts with a short comic setting the tone, and the first thing you'll notice is the fantastic presentation. The artwork is really bloody nice.
Wow.
Well, it's very well done, isn't it?
Yeah, and the
Graphic
whole
novel
thing...
quality.
Exactly, and the whole thing is full colour too.
Yeah. Oh, the whole book.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Look at that. Look at it. This is cool.
Yeah, so in the comic, a girl called Hiromi is seen running from Atarashi High School, and another girl called Yumi is chasing her with an evil determination. Then, Hiromi runs across the front garden of the school to two of her friends, where one of the friends pulls out a sword and cuts the chaser's head off.
Yeah. No blood, may I add.
No, exactly.
Yeah, no blood.
And as Yuri's head comes off with a notable absence of blood, as you mentioned, it floats up, still alive, and says, "You fools, now face the wrath of my demonic floating head."
I love it already.
So basically the story is this. In the heart of Tokyo, this high school is plagued by the supernatural, and all the students just want to get on with their daily life, but sadly, as the book puts it, the demon prince of Shinjuku might come for the swim team at any point. So now in the school, there's a crack team of psychic girls who are able to fight off the demons and ghosts, although most of them do this in secret, often leading to suicide or insanity because of the pressure, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So you can be loud and brash about your powers and things like this and boast about it, but you'll usually attract unwanted attention from phantoms or demons or Phantom of the Opera or whatever.
You did turn up. Hey.
Although being a secret psychic paranormal hunter can be tough, the Japanese school system is equally tough, and there's a lot of pressure to succeed from teachers, parents, other classmates, and loads of Japanese people do sadly buckle under the pressure. So it says in the book that for some of the characters, the actual paranormal part might be like a vacation.
Because their studies are so hardcore.
Yeah. So they're like going out at night and killing ghosts and that.
For release.
Yeah, that's a laugh, if anything.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So in this game, the game master is called the superintendent.
Nice.
And before you start a game, you're supposed to sit down and discuss what you expect from the game.
Interesting.
Essentially, there's loads of ways to play this and very little prep required. So the brainstorm can be like a good time to discuss what type of game this is going to be. And then you move on to creating students. You all have to be teenage girls who attend high school. Like, you have to be.
Okay.
In Maid, for example, which is another anime game, you can be a butler, even though that was a game about maids. But in this, no boys.
Okay.
You can be a biological boy, but it says only as long as you dress in girls' clothes, identify as a girl, and attend the school as a female student.
Okay, that's cool.
But you're allowed to be an alien, robot, demon, or robot demon if you want no.
Okay.
Boys? No boys.
No boys. Robot demons. Okay.
Robot demon, that's fine, yeah. but boys,
Get out of here.
Get out of here. But creating a student is really easy. It's made up of only a few pieces of information: your name, some details, your goal, your best friend, your rival, and your popularity. And it basically is as easy as it sounds. With details, you basically pick two. You can make these up, and these can be things like I once beat the demon prince in a duel, to something like I have a secret boyfriend. And these can be used to get advantages in certain situations, but I'll go into that later. Goals have to be something you can actually complete within the course of a game. So like, it could be like, oh, I have to find my missing sister, to I want to pass my exams. Like, it can be anything like that. Then you have to pick your best mate and rival. Now, these have to be other players.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. And then there's a popularity. To determine this, everyone at the table votes in secret.
Ooh.
So basically, you all write it down on a bit of paper, then give it to the superintendent.
Yeah.
Now, there's 3 levels of popularity. Everyone will remain at average unless you were voted the most or least popular. And that's basically it. So much like any other game, Panty Explosion is set into scenes. However, a scene in this is like 5 to 15 minutes. Much like a game like Fiasco, each scene may involve many player characters, but will shine the spotlight on one of the main characters as the focus of that scene.
That's cool.
That's really
The idea is every single scene should give you a chance to complete your goal.
I see.
Alright.
If several students have related goals, then you can all be the focus of a single scene, if you wish. So to play out a scene works like this. The superintendent and the focus player character will start by coming up with a scene and where it takes place by describing it, with the superintendent playing any NPCs, and of course, if other PCs are there, they play themselves. And as I mentioned briefly before, demons will be there as well, and they'll be stronger if they're playing against people that don't have completed goals. So let's say, for instance, you have a goal and you're trying to, using that same example, you're trying to find your sister and you haven't found her yet. Well, the demon, he's going to be a hard motherfucker.
Okay.
Right, so let's say, for instance, your goal is, I want some donuts. You go into the donut shop, right, and you go there, and you then set up the scene with the superintendent, and you go in, you see a like a nice pack of donuts, you go in, and then that's when the thing called a challenge comes in. Now, this is basically how the playing of the game works. It's really fucking simple. Challenges are like your bread and butter. It's like fucking doing anything in D&D, you know, where you got the DCs and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So you see the donuts, and then suddenly the GM chucks a challenge in your way. Usually that's going to be a demon or something, right? So you go up to the counter, you see the donuts, and then suddenly you notice that the person behind the counter is a big red guy with a fake mustache on.
Holding a fork.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, exactly. Hello, you want those donuts? Fetch me fast. Right, then you need to roll a D6, and you need to try to succeed to get away or whatever, right? Now, popular students only need a 3 to succeed. Average students need at least a 4, and unpopular can only succeed on a 5 or a 6. Ooh. So that's where that popularity rating comes in. So, the thing about it is, though, is that demons aren't the only challenges that can happen. It can be things like parents, bullies, things like this. However, when you are in there, your rival can also jump in at any time.
Okay.
So at the beginning, when you picked your best friend and your rival, your rival can just be like, I want to fuck they shit up. And they can just jump in. So, like, let's say, for instance, Nick, your character is James's rival, and he's in the donut shop, right? And things seem to be going swimmingly. You can just go in there, you're hiding behind the counter. Boom. You jump up and throw bleach in his eyes.
Nice.
Well, maybe that's a bit too extreme, but, like, you're in there.
Yeah, this book is directed at teens.
Yeah. Well,
Directed. It's a recommendation.
It's a recommendation.
It's a recommendation.
It's meant for dirty old perverts.
Exactly.
Let's call it what it is. But I mean, that's basically it. But if you succeed or you fail, your best friend or your rival also narrates the outcome of what happens.
Ooh.
So it's a little bit like Fiasco as
I
well
like that.
in that regard, because you never narrate what happens. So you can say, I want to try to get away, but when you succeed on the dice or you fail, somebody else narrates the outcome.
Wicked. I like that.
As to who it is that narrates the outcome, the superintendent ultimately decides, but the players all discuss who it should be.
Okay, cool.
So you can weigh in and say, I think my best mate should decide, but the superintendent is the one who gets the last say.
Got ya.
To actually get rid of a demon for good, though, let's say, for instance, you beat him in the battle. To actually get rid of him for good, you need to challenge it directly, like maybe in a fight, but you need to beat it 3 times.
Okay,
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, the demon will be more powerful against girls with unresolved goals, meaning that it will more easily succeed on his roles.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically sort of the bread and butter of the game. So once you've played through a bunch of scenes, eventually one person will complete their goal. They're the winner of the game. So that's why.
So the quicker you complete your goal.
Yeah. So that's why the rival thing is like an element of the game. The rival is going to want to come in and fuck everyone's shit up.
Because they want to get their goal done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
So this is purely one-shot territory.
no, you can go into second games because you're the winner of the session,
Not the arc.
not the arc.
Yeah, gotcha.
It carries on. But the thing about it is that you let's say you put something vague, like I have to deal with the ghost, and then you just become mates with it, and you consider that to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Well, your best friend in the game has to agree with you.
Okay.
So they have to agree on how your goal is completed.
And the superintendent does too. So you
right.
can't just cheese it and be like, right, that's dealt with.
All done. Don't worry
Right,
about
yeah,
it.
right, I've moved house. Fuck it.
Kicked him out.
So that's like a little level of complexity there. There's a little bit of discussion to the game.
Yeah.
I can imagine this is going to be argument simulator.
Yeah.
Mate, we got to play this.
But yeah, anyway, if you complete your goal, you win the session, but that doesn't mean you're out. You can still participate in everyone else's things. The reason being is because in addition to that, all the players that aren't in a specific scene, they can control the demons. So they can weigh in and either all control one demon and say what and agree on what it does, or they can control multiple demons within a scene or NPCs if they want. So that's a pretty cool aspect.
I
to
like
it.
that. Yep.
But as I mentioned before, you play psychic warriors, right? So every girl starts with 2 psychic powers: levitation and make heads explode.
Heads plural.
Yeah, heads. So, these are fairly self-explanatory. Any others you can have, you just make them up.
Okay.
But because here's how they work. Anytime you want to use your powers, you succeed. You just succeed automatically. No rolls, but your life will be changed forever because your rival narrates the outcome of your psychic power use. Ooh. So let's say, for example, you're faced with the demon or the ghost or your teacher, and you want to use make heads explode. Yes, it works. But your rival then narrates how it works. So I'll just read how it works in the book, because it says your rival narrates the outcome and has to add in details of things like, and I quote, accidental injury, property damage, humiliation, exposed undergarments.
No. That's the worst one.
Exactly. And any other awful things you can think of.
Oh, brilliant.
Nice.
So, once you use your powers, going back to living a normal life is near impossible.
That's awesome.
And that's...
You'd be scared to use them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So, and you can realistically only use them once per session.
Yeah.
So, like that...
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think I figured out how they came up with the name.
Okay, I don't think you have. What do you think?
I think apparently females explosion because the head explosion, and perfect because they got to get good school scores.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, I'm going to get to that at the end, but I don't think you figured it out. Okay, so the final part of the book is actually the GM section, or the Superintendent's Guide, and the Superintendent's role in this game. I don't know if you've really figured it out yet, because obviously all of the other players can control the demons.
Yeah.
The Superintendent doesn't really do that much. He's
more of an umpire.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're not really doing much other than that, really.
You've nailed it, Nick.
Oh, okay.
You're really there just to settle arguments and say, right, here's you two have discussed this, here's my final ruling.
Gotcha.
And you play a couple of NPCs, you set scenes, things like this.
Yes, perfect.
You could play a character if you wanted, but I would say that you'd have to be the shittest character.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe have a minimal role in the story.
Exactly, yeah.
And you have to decide if somebody can use their detail as part of a scene to gain a bonus, and that's what the detailers do. Who gets to choose the outcome of a scene, who gets final say on what a demon does, when the rival can enter a scene, who is right and wrong when settling arguments and things like this. Also, a large part of this game is improvised, so the school layout and things like this are often made up on the spot, and it's all theatre of the mind. Obviously, you'll also be doing all the normal GM stuff too, but as an extremely light game, this should be easy. There's a section on all the demons, ghosts, agents, teachers, and other monsters you'll encounter in this game, but the book says this: there are at least 562,320 known forces that actively work against the common Japanese high school girl.
Oh, the odds are stacked against them, aren't they?
Yeah, so what this means is you can make up whatever the hell you want, but the Japanese horror genre has tropes, and they're all represented here. So here's some examples that the book gives you. The first one is Ao Niobo, which literally means blue wife, I think. I tried to use Google Translate for that. She is a deceptively beautiful ghoul that haunts shrines, wears a kimono, and has rotting black teeth, a festering tongue, and hungers for flesh.
Oh.
And then there's another one there's a spirit of abused dogs called Inugami, and they are used by more powerful demons as servants to hunt and torment their victims. Although they can be a bit of a pain, because they will often just turn on their masters, leg it, and take over the local woodlands. And there's another one that I really liked. It's called the Jubako, which is a girl-eating tree that, after many bloody battles, where blood sort of like fell onto the floor and got soaked into its roots, got a taste for human flesh.
Nice.
And now you just go near it. Like, what girls do, they'll so often like go and read under a tree around the local school, and it'll just eat them.
No, nasty.
There's a few more, and then there's a very short guide to the area, followed by a guide to Japanese high schools. And then one thing I wanted to mention is the comic that at the start continues throughout the book at set in intervals, and it'll come in to kind of explain the game, provide context to certain things, and it just looks awesome as well.
Yeah.
And so that leaves one last thing. Why has it got that name? Why is it called Panty Explosion Perfect?
Why?
This is a game about demon hunting.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get
This
it.
was supposed to be a sex episode.
Yeah, what the hell? It's
And what we
actually
got-
quite a decent sounding game.
It's a really good game.
Yeah.
I was reading this. Like, we bought this book thinking, like...
Is it going to be funny because it's like about knickers?
And it's not that funny.
No, it's actually pretty decent.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's like, what have you done to us, man?
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
I play this. And not only that, it's really easy to play as well. This is a really simple party game that you could break out at a moment's notice.
Exactly.
No prep required.
Yeah, no. And
Only
or
1d6.
Or a new GM who's a little bit doesn't just wants to get into the game and that, and there you go.
Well, I did a bit of research.
Go on.
So, the name Panty Explosion is a joke name. It's poking fun at English and bad Japanese translations.
Right.
So, there is some Japanese text on the cover, and I used the Google Translate app to translate it. You know, the one with the camera?
Yeah.
Because I looked
that
all
all the
over Google, and I was like looking at their website and all of that, and I couldn't find anywhere that said what that text said. And the text translates to country silver. It's just gibberish. It's meaningless.
Means
It's meaningless.
nothing. Country silver means nothing.
And the perfect part refers to the fact that this is the second version of the game. So this is the most complete version of the game. So it's Panty Explosion. Perfect. The first version had more stats relating to elements. So it's like each character had like wind, fire, spirit, things like this. and then it was like a bit more obtuse. Like the first version, it was a bit more difficult to grok, and it had an art style reminiscent of things like the Siren games for PS2, where it used real photos of Japanese girls' faces mixed with 3D backgrounds. It was like kind of weird. It looked really cool and really dark, but this is kind of a comedy game, so it's like they changed it up, and that's it. That's the game.
Okay.
It's not a sex game.
It's not a sex game. We've been fooled ourselves. We tried to fool our listeners, and then eggs on our face.
As much as I think the name, I wouldn't describe it as funny, because when you find out, you're like, oh. But the thing is, it's like you look at the cover, and you do expect something, because you see schoolgirls.
Girls, isn't it?
You see the name, and you think something, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that worries me is, would this put people off unnecessarily?
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's a shame, isn't it?
It's
Because
kind of like
actually
it's an in joke, isn't it?
Yeah, but have they
think-
smited themselves by less people going to buy this over here now?
Because we
Well,
only
it's
bought
actually
it.
a
We
decent
literally bought it for the name.
Well, yeah, because
Thinking it was going to be silly, and
no,
it's
but
actually
then
decent.
the thing about it is that I think there's a certain subsect of anime fans that would be into it for that type of comedy.
Yeah.
Because we like, there's that sort of, I don't know what the genre is, but that type of silly comedy that revolves around the perverse nature of Japan.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a certain subsect of people that would get that. But the thing is that actually isn't present in this book.
No.
So a lot of people would buy that thinking that that's going to be in there, and it's not in there. It's not in there. This is a game that is a comedy game that revolves around demon hunting.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that sounds fucking great.
Yeah.
I would play this in a heartbeat.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because I was even thinking, like, we're having a little shindig for Nick's birthday tonight, and I was even thinking, just bring this along just in case.
Oh yeah, because it's an improv game, isn't it?
Yeah, and you could play
I like
it in about an hour and a half, and just have a great time.
that's brilliant.
With a D6, you don't even need the character sheets.
You don't even need
Bring it along.
You just dice
Yeah,
it along.
I will.
I
we're
see
doing
you've
it.
got maids in the back. I love.
Oh yeah, the advertisements at the back.
Yeah, that's another weird thing. This is yet another publisher that appears to have published Made. That's about 5 I've seen so far as well.
Yeah.
I just love the group agency you have in all the outcomes. So it's not just like bang, 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 this will happen. It's like,
No, but the
no,
thing
I
is-
think this should happen, and you have a chat about it, and you can, let's be honest.
Well, that's
mess your mate up.
That's the thing we most enjoyed about Fiasco, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The collaborative side of it.
Well, this is just it as well. When the superintendent, I imagine that people are going to get frustrated at the table over this, but that's part of the fun of it. So when the rival is like, let's say for instance, one like the guy's sitting there and he's going, right, who gets to narrate the outcome of what happens to me? And you get to see your best friend on one side, your rival on the other side, and then the guy's sitting there sweating because even if you fail or if you succeed, that could mean the next scene, oh shit, like it's going to be harder for me now because it's going to be really fucked.
I like the fact that you have to really kind of think about using your power, because or even if you're calling it into using your power, because once that's out of the box, that's it. Shit's going wrong.
Yeah,
in one
the
way
whole
or
rest of
another,
the game is going to be harder for you.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually a very cleverly made improv game, and the good thing about it being so simple, I think a lot of people turn their nose up at that, but this is a game for when you're pissed as fuck and when you've had a lot of beers. You know, this isn't a game that you're supposed to take seriously.
No.
And I like the look of it a lot. I really, really do.
This is fun squared.
Yes, exactly. And it's probably got themes in there that people won't like. But the thing is a way I would put it is, I would say ditch the rule about being teenage girls only. Ditch the idea of it only being set in Japan. And you've got a really great game, because you could just set it in a school, be psychic people, and done. Boom. You've got a great game in your hands.
I like it. X-Files school.
Exactly, because when they said at the beginning that you can do a brainstorming session, just sit down with your players and go, right, this is a game set in a school where you play psychic kids.
Yeah.
Right, what type of school do you want to do? What type of game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then from the get-go, if everyone's like, oh, I think we should have it kind of like, ETU kind of feel for it, or bubblegum shoots. It's got that kind of feel. Depending on your audience, it will translate over to anybody.
And it's going to be funny as fuck, especially when you don't get to decide the outcome of what you've
mate,
done.
That's what I really
because your
like
mates
about
are going to really fuck you over.
And they will. That's the great thing about it. You know they will. Yeah, that's it.
Because your best mate's trying to help you, whereas your rival's trying to fuck you over.
Yeah, totally.
That's why improv games are great, because they are you whip it out and just play.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to prep anything.
That's the beauty of it.
While Fiasco is a fucking great game for that, that, I think the reason I would love to play this is because it's got even less prep.
There's less dice.
Yeah, 1d6.
Fiasco's good, but it's still. It says you can play it in 3 hours, but it's a night's game. It's a whole night. No two ways about it. If you want to get stuck into Fiasco and the scenes,
if you really want to enjoy it,
Whereas this game, you can honestly probably power through this in a couple of hours.
This says 3, but the thing is you could play in an hour if people are quick about resolving it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it depends. You could do a quick game.
Oh, we could smash it.
I love it. I'm happily surprised with that. Actually,
me too. I'm honestly genuinely impressed.
Joke is on us.
Not the funniest game ever, but the thing is that is genuinely. I'm honestly surprised. So check that out. I will say the only thing I'm disappointed by is how much it cost.
Oh, go on.
It cost us £25.
Oh, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
It is a pamphlet of a game. Let's call it that. But the thing is that the presentation and the amount of use I'll likely get out of this is worthwhile. So
think about it. You'll be able to smash it out a few times of such a different amount of groups. So as long as you're up for doing that, then you'll get a good ton of uses out of it.
Well, because I imagine this will be one that I'll probably play when a short notice one shot is needed.
Yeah,
and that for me is perfect. It's just that £25 is a little bit much, but the thing is that I've seen the first edition floating around online a lot, and I'm not sure if they released that for free on purpose or not. I've just seen it a lot.
Yeah.
I searched for the character sheet, and I'm not sure if that's piracy or if they released it for free.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but just check before you're done.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Panty Explosion Perfect, everyone. Woo! Shit name, great game.
Yeah, shit, nice.
All right, we're gonna move on next to the Chamber of Challenges.
Welcome to the Chamber of Challenges. Chamber of Challenges. The Chamber of Challenges. Chamber of Challenges. The Chamber of Challenges.
Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Chamber of Challenges, and this is where we do challenges for one another related to RPGs. So, James has got for us an audible. He's got an Oreo for us, but after the Oreo, he has got a challenge called What Dat, where he has made RPG-related sounds, and we have to guess what they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
without further ado,
play the first sound, and we will figure out what dat.
All right. Yeah.
Yes. Go on.
It's the final boss.
The
we can do it.
final
Right,
boss.
Go on.
Go.
Yes. Get it. Oh. Was that it? Tell me about it.
Killing the final boss in one hit. Nick?
Yeah. Unclimactic ending.
Anticlimactic ending.
Okay, alright.
That was it. That was number 1.
Alright, play number 2.
Well done, Nick.
That was good.
Oh. Go on. Yeah. And again. Come on. Yes. No way. Oh. Sick.
Exploding dice.
Hey, he's got it right in the money.
Yes.
That was quick. Off the mark.
Nailed it.
Right, and then...
Well, come on. Get at it then. What are they doing? We're in the middle of a battle. We need to concentrate on attacking the enemy. Could you make him stop, please?
Alright, so I think this is... Because we've been playing Savage Worlds recently.
Yeah.
And in that you need to start... In Simon Kane, you need to start doing your spells early.
Prepping, yeah.
Prepping a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly it.
Oh, God, I'm doing well.
Fire,
God, I'm doing well.
This is good, guys. All right.
We must find the center of the rules.
What?
We must
play that. Ring that one back. Rewind.
Flee. We must find the center of the rules.
Oh, rules lawyers.
Okay, so the
center of the rules?
Center of the rules. So I think it is... It's like there's like a pun to this. I know it. So it's like pinpointing the rules. It's like... Yeah... I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know. Right, I'll just go with Nick's answer.
That's what I think.
What is it?
Like
a rules lawyer?
Yeah.
Core rules.
Core rules.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. Tricked ya.
It's good.
That was a good one.
And then
One more?
this is the last one I've got.
5, 4, 17.
Cheating.
Yeah. 5, 4, 17.
5, 4, 17. Is it James? Is it James Clark?
Hey, I'll never do that. Shut up.
Is it famous cheater James Clark?
It's the genie. It's the genie rolls.
So the famous cheater.
It's the famous. No, it was that was initiative.
How was that? How?
There was 3 dice rolls and then 3 numbers announced by 3 different players.
Okay.
What?
There was 5, 4,
Rewind.
17.
5, 4, 17.
Yeah,
People
look,
calling out their numbers.
Yeah. 3.
Oh right, okay.
initiative.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Right.
There you go, guys.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Well, the first 3 you smashed.
Yeah. Okay. So do I win?
Yeah, I think so.
I got more. We never count the
What's
points.
the points? Ah.
I win. What that?
What the points are?
You win what that?
I win what that?
Yeah! Nice. Very nice.
All right. So next up, Nick, you got something for us. 7. You got something in the bank.
Yeah, baby, we're going back. I've got dragon or we've got dragon or blagging.
Dragon or Batman?
It's changed on here.
So you're going to show us pictures, right? And it's either a dragon or Batman.
Do you know what's even better? On my doc that I wrote it on, it's obviously auto changed it to dragon or Gavin.
That's going to be a hard one because Gavin, our mate Gavin, he does look like a dragon.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. Or I like to call this particular one mission or fission.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
So as in nuclear fission.
No, fish as in fishing.
Fishing.
Fish on. Fallout edition. So here we go. So basically, I'm going to give you 3 quest names, and you have to tell me what one is the actual Fallout one.
Okay.
All right. So question number 1: The Job.
Yep.
3-tier Mother Care. Crazy Bob's Last Stand, or Death Squad for Kitty.
Crazy Bob's Last Stand.
I'm going to go with Kitty.
Death Squad for Kitty.
Yeah.
You're both wrong. It's The Job.
Oh, we should have picked up on that.
The simple.
It's too simple.
Question number 2.
Yep.
Up an Atom.
Yep.
Baby in a Bag. Does Steve Know You're Home? Rockets Red Glare.
I'm going to go for Up an Atom.
I'm going to go for... Wait, what was number 3?
Number 3 was Does Steve Know You're Home?
I really
That
like
sounds made up.
I really... Okay, I'm going to go with that, but I really enjoy it. I hope it's...
You're both wrong again.
Yeah.
What? It's Rockets Red Glare.
See, Up an Atom really sounds like a Fallout one.
Gotcha,
You've nailed
I
it.
gotcha. Question number 3.
Atom.
Ready?
Yeah.
So question number 3 is Severed Head and Best Intentions.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Empty. Nice try but no cigar. Secrets in their chips.
I think it's got to be Welcome to the Big Empty. I love that. You should be a quest namer. You come into the office at Bethesda and you go, Welcome to the Big Empty, right? How much you paying me? See you later, guys.
See you later.
So only one of them is the real Fallout... I can't see it. There's a glare on
Only one is so only one's the
Okay.
real Fallout quest. The rest are made up reads.
Okay, say them again, please.
Severed
sorry.
Head and Best Intentions. Welcome to the Big Empty. Nice try but no cigar. Secrets in their chips.
Secrets in the chips.
Welcome to the Big Empty.
And you're right. It's Welcome to the Big Empty.
Okay.
That is a real Fallout quest name.
Well, okay, so I get a point.
You get a point.
So I've got 1 point so far.
So I'm winning so far. Question number 4. Reality sucks. 2 ghouls and a nanny. Getting ready for prime time. Forever and never again.
You know, I think it's getting ready for a prime time. That seems to ring a bell.
Going for that? What are you going for, Joe?
First one.
Reality sucks.
Yeah.
Lex got it again. Getting ready for prime time. Well done. Well done.
See, I
was worried. See, I was a little bit worried that you might know some of them. Because
the thing is that I know quite a fair bit about Fallout, but the thing is the quest names. It's not something I would remember.
No, and do you know what? There's so much to go through.
I've never played. I've never played.
I know. So I'm sorry. I did know that.
Yeah.
I thought you might have some fun with it. Question number 5. Okay, so question number 5 is right. Here we go. So, is it Ryan Briggs's Wonder Meat? Your Name in Lights, A Slight Change of Plan, or Devourer of Tolls?
Slight change of plan.
Your Name in Lights.
It's Ryan Briggs's Wonder Meat.
What?
Yeah.
It's Wonder Meat.
Yeah.
Was that from New Vegas by any chance?
I think it might have been. Yeah.
I seem to remember something about Wonder Meat.
So some points. I'm not sure what.
I think I won because I got 2.
I've got one more left for you.
Oh, okay.
One more. Question number 6. The King of Cunning, One Step Closer, Zip's Nuka Fix, a dust devil named Hope.
I think Zip's Nuka Fix.
I really like the way that sounds as well, but I'm going to choose something different. Give me the other 3.
The King of Cunning, One Step Closer, Zip's Nuka Fix, or a dust devil named Hope.
I'll just go for Dust Devil.
A dust devil named Hope. No, I'm afraid you've been done again. Lex has got it again. It's Zip's Nuka Fix.
Well done.
There you go. So you got
Some of
points.
your naming is wicked.
Yeah, I think you really got the naming convention.
Well, do you know what I did? The way I did it was I got loads of questions because I wanted to go right back to Fallout 1 and 2, but unfortunately they don't really have names. They're just collect man from house and stuff like that. So.
In that, it would just be like a person will come up to you and be like, "Oh, by the way, I need you to do this."
Yeah,
and you just go. And
so
do
they
it.
didn't really have snappy titles. So I digged into New Vegas, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4. Got a feel for what the kind of mission names were, and then put ones that were quite odd in anyway, and then obviously just dressed them up with my own crap.
Well, very good, man. I like that. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. I enjoyed that. That was good. So, I think Lex ran away with that one. To be honest with you, I think got quite a lot right.
I bloody nailed it. I'm having a good time.
Good time. Winner.
Hey, everybody! Come gather round the fireside, and I'll tell you of a time when I beat 3 goblins and 4 basilisks all by myself, using nothing but my own 2 hands. And my trusty 6-shooter, of course, but the point is I beat them. I won. Fireside Tales.
So welcome to Fireside Tales, a segment that we do so infrequently I forgot it even existed. But this is where we regale you with stories from our RPG experiences. This can be inside or outside of the game. But today I wanted to tell you about a little thing. I've got 2 for you. The first one is actually it's about doubting whether or not you even exist anymore. And this basically what happened is I've talked about my Fallout game that I played at work often enough, right? And essentially this was kind of funny because this is where I got back into role-playing again after a couple of years break, and I was playing a game at work using whiteboard conference software, and this was like a sort of play-by-post game, but we played it over whiteboard conference software, and I've talked about it so often on this podcast, so I won't bother. But a lot of the way I did the NPCs in the game was I based them on people that we worked with, so that way I wouldn't need to describe them at length. And I was playing with Ryan, who's now part of our role-playing group, and a guy called Dave. And one of the main NPCs that they teamed up with was a guy called Dana, who now my new character in Fallout is named after, but their personalities are completely different. Anyway, this guy Dana that we worked with was like a grizzled New York detective that for some reason had now become an IT guy at an office. He literally was like that.
Yeah.
He used to, like, even when he was talking, he'd be like, "I'm not going to suck your dick on this one." And it was like, "You do not belong in this office." And he was like, he used to say things like, "I invented Microsoft Excel, but then Bill Gates, he stole the idea off me. And one day I'm going to get my revenge, I swear to God." And this guy was absolutely nuts. Anyway, so he was like a prime guy to base an NPC on, and we used to just hear him like randomly throughout the day. Like he'd be in his office, which was attached to our office, and he'd just go for no reason. He just yeah, and he was also like alarmingly racist because we worked with like a lot of Indian guys, and he's like, "Hey, don't ask none of these guys what to do. Half of them can't even flush a toilet." And you'd be like,
no, really?
Yeah, he was awful. I mean, he was perfect for basing an NPC off of. And I saw him every day give me new material to work with.
Nice.
And so in this Fallout campaign, these guys teamed up with him and they got this like old car that they managed to repair and drove around the wasteland in. And it was really funny because at one point he got in a fight with one of the characters and they stole the car keys off of Ryan's character, and he was like, "I'm not giving them back to you, man." This is in the game, and he's like, "I'm not giving them back to you. There's no way. You're a nutcase. You're a force to be reckoned with, and you're not having them. I'm not sucking your dick on this one, Ryan." And he just wouldn't give them back, and Ryan was getting genuinely annoyed in the game, and they had a fist fight. Dana punched him in the face, and then it just got really heated, and Ryan was like, "Right, I'm going for a fucking cigarette." He storms out, he comes back, and when he came back, he's like, he had this gun called the Sunburster, I think it was called, shit name. But anyway, point is he then he was about to fire it at Dave's character and Dana. He said, "Look, this is going to kill both of you." And so Dave kill Dana now. Just kill him. He's pissed me off, and either you kill him or I kill both of you right now. So then Dave turns around and just goes, like dejected. He goes, okay. This is in game, by the way, not in real life. He goes, and he just stabs Dana in the heart with his katana, and then Dana slumps over, falls into the car, and turns the radio on, and then this really sad song plays. And then I played it out of my phone at work, and everyone was like, "What's this sad music?" Like, because we were playing in the office.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then like it was this really sad scene, and Dave, his reaction was he got up from his desk. And he goes, I can't believe you killed Dana, to Ryan. And Ryan goes, I didn't do it. You put the fucking sword through him, right? And they got up and both of them started arguing. And Dave was like, yeah, but you made me do it. Therefore, it was your hand that fucking pulled the trigger. You killed him. And the two of them started arguing. And at this moment, the real Dana had just got back from a cigarette break. And he walks through the office, sees these two guys arguing. You killed Dana. No, you killed Dana. Dana's dead because of you. And Dana just saw these two arguing. And he just stops. And just didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, and he literally looked at them, and he was just looking at his own hands, like
am I dead?
Am I dead?
Am I in the toilet? Really?
Yeah, he was just like, so like, you killed Dana. Dana's dead because you were gonna kill me. And then Dana just looks at his own hands, just like. And then you just saw him just walk back into his office, like shaking his head,
touching his face.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
brilliant.
Because of an RPG we played at work, a guy doubted his own existence for a few seconds.
That's amazing.
Actually, I think I'll leave my other story because that one took a bit longer. But yeah, that was basically it. An RPG can make somebody doubt their own existence.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So who wants to go next?
So this Fireside Tales titled "Calm as a Bitch," and this was set in the second arc of our Call of Cthulhu game, where we was in a post-apocalyptic future. We was basically being brutalised. We all had job details. Do you remember the guards would turn up every day and basically beat us, send us to work, whatever. Anyway, in the block that we lived in, we met this absolute jerk of a bloke called Gordon Freeman. And he was the biggest Combine fan going. If anyone's played Hard Life, they know exactly what we're talking about. And he was basically explaining that he's been working his way up, and oh man, you get to be like them if you carry on doing what they ask. And he was just the biggest butt lick. He used to grass us up. His wife had already become one, and she was the one that used to come and meet us in the morning and send us to work. Anyway, long story short, the detail turned up to take us to work, and do you remember just before we had changed the nameplates on the rooms?
On the rooms,
so because we was trying to get him to come into our room because I think we wanted to beat him up because he was obviously a spy.
Yeah, we wanted to,
but he wouldn't come in. Do you remember? He weren't having it. So then someone snuck out and actually changed the nameplates on the rooms. So when they turned up to try and send everybody to work, they all attacked him because he was saying, "No, man, I ain't got to go work today. I'm working later." And because we had changed the rooms around, he got beaten to death by his own fans. Like he was the biggest fanboy of these guys that just beat him to death. So he never became a Combine. He just got beaten because of that.
They turned into jelly, and this whole time he just wanted to be one of them.
Yeah, and then he got killed by him.
We basically set him up for death,
big time.
And he loved his oppressors.
Yeah, absolutely loved them. And in the end, they killed him,
and he didn't know what was happening. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, why?
Oh, you guys could hear it from your room,
it was
like a relative comfort.
Wasn't it? Do you remember?
You guys asked him like, "What time are you starting tomorrow?" Because 11.
Because we needed to not be at work at that time. Because we needed to go save our mate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Classic, man.
So I love that. Yeah, really made me laugh.
Really good plan.
Nice.
That was my Fireside Tale.
So a number of years back, Lexi worked with me at an office, and our immature school days came out through us.
Oh dear.
So there was us messing about. We pranked each other. We fired the bits of paper with elastic band.
Oh, when you make a bullet out of it,
around the office.
Nice.
And Lexi once folded a spoon inside one of them, and fucking thank God it missed.
I don't remember doing that.
You folded a metallic, an actual teaspoon in half and wrapped paper around it to disguise it. And the ferocious velocity of it flying past my face, I was like, are you mad?
Embedded in the wall.
And we were on the other side of the office to each other, so this was just flying past other people too.
Oh,
so
God.
That is good.
So, anyway, Lexi made a type text game for me to play. Because
choose your own adventure thing.
Yeah, choose your own adventure.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah,
And it was set in Red Hill, our town.
Yes.
Yeah. And
doesn't get enough publicity, Radio.
Yeah, but it just made it easy because obviously then there's no need to explain everything else. So there was location was similar, and there was lots of people in it that were similar, like our mates from school and that. But basically, what was happening with this Choose Your Own Adventure that was going on was there was a bunch of bears attacking the town. And so I had to type text my way through it with multiple choices, thought up by Lexi. Some were simple, fight, evade, ask questions, like that. But then it got marvellous because I had to get a code to unlock safe. Right. That had like some really valuable and useful items in to help me rid the town of the bears. Yeah. But it turns out that some of them, the way to get the code, there was a bunch of riddles that Lexi had actually dotted around the office itself.
Oh, nice.
Like the physical
treasure hunt.
Yeah. And so I went on this hunt, getting all these riddles, right?
Cool.
And it was pretty decent. So I went around the office, and then I got like certain bits leading me to different areas. And then the best one was that I was left with this riddle that I ended up having to get into lift B of the actual building. Now, these lifts didn't work in the conventional way. You couldn't just go into it, click a floor number, and then, you were outside, chose a floor number, and then you were assigned a lift.
Oh, okay.
So I needed lift B. So I stood there in the communal lift section, clicked a random floor, and then lift A came. So as that came, I pretended to be on the phone. I was just like, blah, 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 blah. And then I did it again, the lift C. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake, right? Blah, 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 blah. But lift B finally turned up, right? So I was like, yes, finally. So I get in, but so do other people. And there's already other people in there. But as soon as I get in, I look up and I can see the note
on the scene.
And I'm just there, really trying to stifle my laughter. Yeah. And they're like, James, you're right. And I was like, yeah.
Just on fun.
Like so we get like up to floor 5 from floor 1. Yeah. And then everyone else gets off the lift. Yeah. And then I sort of linger back, and I pretend to get off. And like really slowly, and I must have looked like a right weirdo. And I pretend to get off really slowly, and just as they're walking ahead, I just run back into the lift on my own, and then I nab the note that was stuck to the top, like where the doors closed. Yeah. It was literally just above that, and it was fucking fantastic. And I'm pretty sure at home I still have that note, and that was one of my most favourite sort of.
The immersion was off the hook,
mate. It was wicked. I came back in like all flustered and like red faced because I was like all excitedly chirpy and nervous all at once. I was just like, thanks.
Well, there was like it was funny because the setting was in the town and the building that we were in was in the town. Right? Yeah. So it was like. There was
a different level of immersion.
Yeah, the bears. I don't know why they were bears, but there were sentient bears that had taken over our town, and they were terrorists. And they strategically put bombs in 4 locations. Yeah. And one of them, they were like, he met like one of the terrorists who was trying to get out of the cell, and was like, "I'll give you the code, but I need to." Like, I don't know, the story was really dumb, but they were like, "I'll give you the code, but I need to test your aptitude. Let's see if you can get from here to this." Building, which is I'll probably bleep the name. Yeah. But I was like, let's see if you can get to that company's name building in time. And I was like, it's in lift B. Let's see if you can get there. And then obviously James did actually work there, and he was like, I run to the lift, and he typed it to me, and I was like, no, you actually have to go there, mate. And then he was like, oh shit,
get up and
then I saw James like, and he was
walking, a time limit.
Yeah, and he was walking really hurriedly, and I was like, the bomb's going to explode in 12 minutes, and James was like,
but this was real life 12 minutes.
Yeah, real life 12 minutes.
So I had to give my answer before then.
Very fun.
Yeah, and there was also bits where I gave him phone numbers, and I'd like briefed people on things to say as well. And, like, it was crazy. It was like an alternate reality / choose your own adventure game.
Wicked. It's like when James calls you, if he says this word, you have to respond with this.
Yeah, and then I gave Taylor like these really weird things. Like James called him up, and I was like, there was somebody in the game that would be like, call this number to get a password, and then he called up our mate Taylor, and Taylor was like, Kuwabara.
Eagle has landed.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was so stupid.
Wicked.
But it was a good way to pass some time.
Yeah.
I well enjoyed it.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was better than working.
Yeah. Wants to do that, right?
I would certainly bleep the company name.
In the future, you will be able to send a letter from anywhere on the planet. This is the future. This is the Electro Letter.
Alright, so for this Electro Letters, we asked for your best and worst characters that you've ever seen at a gaming table. I wonder if we got any people boasting, saying the best character I've ever seen is my one.
Best character is me in life.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
Every day I look in the mirror, that's the best character.
That's the best character right there.
So the first one comes in from Matthew Jones. Worst characters I've seen, he says, were at D&D Encounters during 4th edition. These two guys were playing min-maxed out Dark Elves, and they were evil, and also best friends with the DM.
Oh dear.
Well, that sounds like a mix of shit right there. It was like accidentally joining someone's home group that you were not invited to.
Oh, no.
Best characters, well, I've seen so many good ones, but Earl, played by Tony Fanning, is a surly old lizardman, and is full of character and backstory that comes out with his role-playing very well. Yeah, I mean, that sounds fun. I mean, the thing is that if you have a good backstory and you make it come out through your character, that's what you want. And that's what we were saying earlier about the Session Zero.
Yeah.
We link our backstories, and then that always comes out.
Well, it was awesome because it meant that all of our characters, they immediately had this connection, and it was so natural how we interacted with each other.
Yeah, and when we had the points where it would be like, when we said to each other, "Oh, you're always doing that." You and I characters, James, when you would never listen to what other people said.
Yeah, someone tells me what to do because I now get experimented on, like we said earlier. Then I just outright refuse.
You're anti-establishment now, aren't you?
But because Di is my best mate, I'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll see you in a minute.
And I like that. And I like Daniel's like, I'm not telling you what to do, of course. It's everybody else I'm talking to.
Yeah, but I'm just suggesting that if you wanted to, you could
join us.
Because we have history. I know how to, in air quotes, manipulate you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But he comes in with a question as well. Would you prefer unlimited time to play role-playing games in the underworld or to live forever? But it is in a world where role-playing games cannot and will not exist.
Same with Hades, baby.
I would live my normal lifespan, but play role-playing games forever.
Or that one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live forever and not be able to play games. Jeez.
Yeah.
Boring.
It'd be horrible.
Underworld, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going Underworld.
Best of laugh down there.
Yeah. So next one comes in from Patrick Greenlaw. The best character I've ever seen was a halfling alchemist from Pathfinder. The player almost never broke character and spoke in a high-pitched nasally voice that made everyone think of Fran Dresser's character in the Nanny TV show. She always played this doe-eyed innocent, always seemingly ignorant of how to act in any situation. That is, until the player would get an impish grin and lob some alchemical noxious gas or explosive vial at the opponent, which was often an upset shopkeep or flustered bouncer. As chaos inevitably ensued, she would always just say, "Did I do that?" This player has played many other characters and is excellent with them all, but this one was my favourite.
Nice.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
That's why I love Alchemist, man. In Pathfinder, that shit's deadly. We learned that in our last game, didn't we?
Alchemist's fire.
I mean, it's got fuck all to do with role-playing, really, but when we made poisons and Alchemist fire, it's just that stuff is just like...
That is like, my God.
It's,
so much
it's
fun.
game-ending shit.
Yeah,
Powerhouse.
But the thing is, if that blows up in your face, goodbye.
See ya.
Yeah.
So next one's in from Tony Fannin, and Tone says, it has been my experience that the worst characters are usually published pre-generated ones. Okay.
What do you think of that, though? I mean, the thing is, I've got to be honest, like, yeah, it's not going to be, like, the best, but when you're playing one-shots...
Perfect. Well, yeah, the thing is, when I get a pre-gen, I'll just see that as a weak template, and you've got to kind of beef it out.
Yeah.
You know,
every pre-gen, you're not meant to pick it up and be like, I'm going to play it by the book. You're allowed to add your own flavour.
When it's got too much on it of the pre-gen, I think it's like...
But he's saying published pre-generated.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because I've seen people take pre-gens that are made by people, and they're inspired. You know? Like when I played Solomon Kane at Con, the interplay between the people at that con was amazing. But then I've seen people pick up pre-gens and do fuck all with it.
Yeah.
Look at our Lankmar game that we played, Nick.
Yeah.
And how much fun we had with those pre-gens.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought your character in that you played that so well.
He was funny.
But then I've seen Katie pick up the same character and do an also similarly amazing job. Yeah, it was completely different.
Well, there you go then.
Because she played him like... she wanted to play him like Ezio from Assassin's Creed,
Right,
but instead of an assassin, a thief.
Yeah, cool.
And it was like completely different, and but similarly amazing. I would say that he's pretty much right. The worst characters are published pre-generated ones, but an amazing player can do an amazing job with it.
them. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And see, it goes on. Best character, Feldane Hammerstriker.
What a name!
That is the name.
A dwarven paladin in D&D 3.5, played by a person new to RPGs. Feldane was a devout worshipper of Moradin. However, he had AD&D and would often get bored.
No, ADD.
Oh yeah, I'm so used to seeing ADD. Sorry, let me start again. However, he had ADD and would often get bored and do things that led to very memorable adventures, like charging headfirst through locked doors while the rogue was busy checking for traps, and singing hymns when the rest of the party was trying to be stealthy, or kicking an evil magistrate in the nuts that was trying to use diplomacy to turn the Kong's court against
I think he means kings there, but if it's Donkey Kong's court, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
That's
even
better.
and spending entire battles chastating his celestial mount for being late when he summoned it.
This sounds like
Time
Ryan.
to call this.
Just sounds like Ryan all over.
Yeah. Eventually, he carved the dwarven rune for lockpick and his helm.
Into his helm.
Sorry. Eventually, he carved the dwarven rune for lockpick into his helm and the rune for diplomacy into the toe of his boot. All this from a person that was playing their second character ever. Good times. Oh my god.
That sounds amazing.
That is fantastic.
So I assume from that then that he carved lockpick into his helm because he'd always just smash his head through.
Yeah.
And then he would kick people in the nuts
So
instead
that
of
was
talking
his
to them.
diplomacy foot.
That's fucking great.
I'm stealing that idea.
Feldane Hammerstriker.
That is a name.
You
That's
legend.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah, love it.
I love him. So yeah, I mean, that's how to do it, man. I mean, obviously, I reckon this player is the type of player who gets bored, but he used his own self for inspiration into the character. So he was just like, fuck it. That's good. That's how to do it, man.
I want to play with that guy.
But using, I mean, I am assuming a lot there, but even still with that little assumption, that's a great way to make characters by using little parts of yourself.
Yeah.
Or using things that inspire you to make characters. Because I'm often quite a loud, brash type person, and so I'll use that to inspire my characters. Because the thing is, you can't. I like playing people that aren't like me at all, but then I also sometimes like just exaggerating parts of my personality.
Everyone loves a bit of that.
Yeah, of course. And also, I think it's fun to do. Also, the other side of that is making a character that does stuff that you as a person wouldn't normally do to know what it feels like when you're
like
do you know
something that's never ever like you,
not cautious at all, or
like James. Obviously, you're a straight person, and you've played gay characters before. Things like that.
Yeah,
Do you know
loads.
what I mean?
I've played gays, played women. Played robots.
I've done it all, mate.
I played cat people.
Well, you're not a cat person.
What, in real life?
No.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
I did read something online the other day. This is complete sidetrack, but asking whether or not you're a cat or a dog person, it must be very, very different within the furry community.
Meow. Worth.
Okay, so the very last question. Now, this is a very important question here. This comes in from my brother, Sean Hunt. He says, James, how goes your life now that you have morphed into a white male?
Well, I'm glad you asked that.
So this comes from Justin Saroy, who actually accused us all of being white males, straight white males.
I'd just like to bring up again that I felt very victimised when he was saying all this.
All right, enough rubbish.
You know what? Life's just great. Now I'm white. I can do what I want. I can sit at the front of the bus.
Oh, shut up.
So,
I'm not white. Fuck off.
No, you are.
All white?
White.
Shut up.
All white? No, I'm not all white.
All white? No, you are just inside.
Cut me and I bleed white.
You're not from Alien. You're not Bishop from Aliens.
He bleeds acid.
Yeah.
Actually, do Filipino people bleed acid?
Get a knife. Let's find out.
So that's it for Electro Letters this time. Thank
everyone.
you very much for your correspondence. You know what? We did have a really long one from Owen Lane again. I think what we need to do is like
Maybe
get all
we
of his
should
emails.
Do a bonus and
of
then
all of them,
dramatically read them.
They're fantastic, but they're so long, Owen.
Oh, yeah, no.
They're so long.
We enjoy them, but give us a little bit shorter.
And for goodness sake, spell check them.
Please, can you spell check?
Oh my god, man. We just tried to read it and it was...
I mean, we could have deciphered it. Maybe next time we'll
it was just...
decipher
oh my
it
god.
first.
It was like trying to crack the Da Vinci Code, which actually, if Tom Hanks can do it, to be fair.
That's a piece of piss.
Yeah, but okay. Anyway, that's it, guys. Some really great ones there. It's actually given me a lot of inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, I'm definitely going to be having a lockpick helmet from now on.
Totally.
Oh,
I
yeah,
need to
man.
get my
What's
next
going on?
character needs to be called Hammer Strike.
And
Slow diplomacy boot.
Yeah, and we found out that Filipinos bleed acid.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel weak.
So yeah, cheers. Thanks so much for the correspondence. We really, really do appreciate that. So that's it, man. Let's go on to the outro.
Woo!
It's so excited. So excited for the outro.
Savage!
Okay, so thanks, guys. That is it for another episode. If you want to contact us, you obviously can do. You actually can.
You can do it.
We've got an email address, which is tabletoptwats@gmail.com.
We've also got Facebook, which is .com/tabletop
And we've got Twitter.
Which is at Tabletop Twats,
And
naturally.
we're on Google Plus, and you can find us at the Nerds International Community. One show to check out there is Veiled Fury Entertainment, where I recently did an interview over there, which is just all about stuff I do. We also talked about Nazis and paedophiles in the same episode.
Wow.
No way.
So if you want, if that doesn't sound riveting,
I'm going to watch the flip out of that.
So obviously you need to donate to us.
You need to.
You need to.
No,
No, you don't. You don't have
need to.
You don't
But
need
if you
to
would
do
like
nothing.
to.
But if you would like to, chuck
Sling
us a buck. We're on patreon.com/tabletoptwats,
Yeah.
and this is what keeps the show going. We really,
Oh, yeah.
really do appreciate your donations.
You do know that apparently Explosion Perfect, that's Patreon money.
Yeah, we couldn't have done this episode without you. I'm
That's
sorry.
what we always do. It's always, whatever we review,
Recycled.
it always comes back in here.
Yeah, we don't spend it on hosting fees or anything like that. Nick actually pays for that.
So this is a negative profits podcast.
Yeah,
It is, yeah. So we run off of our donations, yeah.
Yeah, so we run off our donations. So thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you keeping the show alive.
Yep.
And that leaves one last thing, obviously, because when this show ends, we know that you've got fuck all going on in your life, and you need something to ponder on.
Yep.
You know, while the week
While you
goes-
watch The Wall.
Yeah, while you watch The Wall. So obviously, I've got a little thought of the week for you. You know, to keep you going, something to think about before the next episode comes out, and that is: does Lightning McQueen buy car insurance or life insurance? But that leaves. I know it's not one of my best ones. It's not one of my best ones.
Sorry, Steve.
Sorry. So last.
Well done, Lex.
Yeah, thank you. So my last thing to be said was I was out at market recently, and I was just down the market, and I found the little magical mirror, right? And I looked in the mirror, and while I was looking in there, my face was distorting, and it turned into a little Japanese demon, a little Ao Oni, if you will. And I looked into the mirror, and I said, "But demon, I require your advice." And the demon turned to me, and he simply said 2 words.
And them words were, "Get out of here! Blow my ass!
Blow my ass!"